there is something to be said about podcasters who are aware that a person is gonna inflame in some way, and then they're just like, Twana, he's gaga. I want this view, this one here. And you're like, really? But that's me, and because I try to be considerate, I never invite people here for clout or for views or because I'm hoping that somewhere they'll leak something that will trend. But many other people are not like that. And over time, I'll mention Podcast and Chill. There'd be many potential guests that would refuse to go there because they were scared. They're like, the things you guys say and the what, next thing I'm trending. And you don't want to create that type of space depending on what you're trying to get out of it. And if you are trying to create that type of space, you almost want to say it out up front. That guys, we're here to drop. I mean, free Musa is in prison. Musa Khawula is very upfront about the gossip and the what. So you can never be confused. Versus this gotcha type of podcasting of, hey, so your husband is cheating. Okay, like you said we were coming here to discuss my career and now. So I understand where you're coming from, but it can be nuanced. I just wish podcasters or whoever's responsible can be upfront, number one. And then number two, there's always a back end if it's not live. You can always ask the guest, look, there's things you said. Would you like us to edit it out? Are you comfortable with us? And if it's like, hey, Baba, you signed a waiver. And now we're dropping the thing no matter what. Meg G was saying recently, but then it came out later that they did drop the episode, but for paying members. That there was an episode, just Java, I think they didn't air or something like that. And it's nice to have that type of consideration where possible. And I think for the guests as well, I know a lot of them maybe don't think about it. I hope they know. You can always afterwards, it doesn't matter if they paid for production or you can always afterwards be like, look, I'm not comfortable.
No shame. That's something that we tell our guests from the beginning. So that they're comfortable when they sit in the seat. We give you up to a month. Like our editing, we only drop after a month. Like think about it. If there's anything you didn't want, often people are quite responsible on our platform. It's not that kind of, but I think that really allows people to be comfortable. I know that we're not trying to catch them out and, because the idea is to get you vulnerable and sensitive. We have like food and drinks before we start shooting.
Where? Where do you guys have food and drinks?
Just because you came on a bad day.
So the
Penuel.
I came on a bad day. Bad day.
First of all, you're lying. When you were there with Penson, we were eating and drinking, so stop it. But yeah, basically, the whole idea is to get very comfortable. And so it shouldn't be a trap. Like that, I really do want you to be safe in that seat. And so I tell you, like, it will take a month before this airs. If there's anything you want us to cut out, let us know.
The number of episodes I've turned away. No lies, over 100 of people wanting to come and name and shame. And
yes.
I want to.
Yeah.
Some of those people ended up on other podcasts, which did insane numbers. And then they'd come back to me. You see, I told you I was gonna. In my head, I'm like, I don't think you know who I am and what I stand for. But I tell them, look, I'm glad that you found a platform where you can go and say whatever and you're happy with the result. But I don't want you to come here and it's like, hey, I want to tell you what Ursula did. Bring me on your platform. And I'm like, hey, you might get sued. You might get in trouble. Some people might harm you. Just be very, very thoughtful before you come here. And depending on what they want to say, I normally like buy time so that they end up almost getting over it. Because, people sometimes get themselves in trouble. But if you are that type of platform, which I think we also need, just be upfront. Be like, we're the type of space, if you want to drop
a bomb
or say, this is the spot, come drop it. And then we'll deal with other things after. Because sadly, a lot of people like that. But then also there's a lot of things that need to be shared that are in the dark, which I believe should be shared. But I just believe in a classy way of doing it.
I agree. Also, like, I remember there was this one person who had sent a message and it was an interesting story. She was struggling with a gambling addiction. She like lost her family and whatever. And so I give her a call, like a pre-interview call. I said, hey man, tell me your story. Only to find this person is going through it now. Like she just lost her whatever things like a month ago. Then I said, no, ma'am, this is supposed to be a year or two later in reflection. You're going through it in real time. I don't want to do that to you. And she sent a message like maybe 6 months later She's like, thank you so much for that. I was going through so much at the time. And I just wanted to like speak my heart and whatever. But I see how that was not the time to talk about it. Like I was still deep in the thick of it. So, but like you're saying, there are other, there is space for exposure and people doing the wrong thing. And
wrong thing. So judgy.